In April 1952, Bolivia experienced one of the most profound political and social transformations in its history, the national revolution led by the Revolutionary Nationalist Movement, MNR. After years of inequality, mining exploitation, and social exclusion, the Bolivian people, backed by workers, peasants, and young military officers, launched an uprising that radically changed the country's course. The leader of this revolution was Víctor Paz Estenzero, who had been elected president in 1951 but was prevented from taking office by a military coup. Following the armed insurrection and the MNR's rise to power in April 1952, a revolutionary process began, aiming to build a more just and inclusive nation. One of the most significant milestones of the revolution was the nationalization of the tin mines, which had been controlled by three powerful private companies known as the mining oligarchy. In October 1952, the Bolivian state took over these strategic natural resources, creating the Mining Corporation of Bolivia, COMIBOL. This move not only represented a radical economic shift but also an act of reclaiming national sovereignty over the country's wealth. Another cornerstone of the revolutionary process was the agrarian reform, enacted in 1953. For centuries, indigenous peasants had lived under a hacienda system that kept them in near servitude conditions. The new law redistributed land, granting property rights to those who worked it and abolishing the large estates. This reform sought to correct a historical injustice and lay the foundation for a more equitable rural structure. The Bolivian Revolution also brought about other significant reforms: universal suffrage, which for the first time included women and indigenous people, educational reform, and the restructuring of the armed forces. The state assumed a central role in both the economy and public life. Although the revolutionary process faced challenges and contradictions, the 1952 revolution left an indelible mark on Bolivian history. It was a moment when the long-excluded majority stepped into the forefront, and the country attempted to rebuild itself on new foundations of equality, sovereignty, and social dignity.